Hello, this is Jim Gordon, Treasurer for Citizens for Regional Transit. Welcome to Part 7 of the University at Buffalo School of Architecture Small Built Works Vision 2024. CRT appreciates and gives thanks to WBEN 930 AM radio for permission to rebroadcast the audio that they recorded. This is a replay of Professor Brad Wales' Architecture 404 class community presentation of May 15, 2024. The Vision 2024 proposal consists of 3 light rail rapid transit lines: the Belt Line, the Kensington Line, and the Airport Line.
All right, hello again. My station is located on Fillmore-Northland, the intersection. As we can see, the Belt Line kind of swoops through right over the intersection, and this is the existing bridge as seen above. It's about 16 feet in the air, and it's for freight use. Here's that view under the bridge. It's quite unpleasant, but that's something that we're addressing. Here's the existing conditions, of course, the 33, 198, but this, again, is the intersection with some central programs, including the Workforce Training Center on Northland, and our plan is to develop these multiple quadrants around that intersection. Here's some existing sections of it showing the space that we have and that increase of 16 feet, and there's the existing bridge. So this is some sections that I did of my project. As you can see, between these 2 fire exits on the platform, this houses the station here, which you would rise through either by stairs or by elevator, and then you would access this new bridge that's adjacent to the existing freight train bridge. Right across from that is the station, which you will be able to access this platform. Here's a few plans that I developed. So this one is the second floor plan where you can access the platform. It's inbound and outbound. You would circulate through this primary station, and there's the potential for future commercial area as I represented. But there's, as you can see, those other quadrants are used for future phases of transit-oriented development. Here's that view from this first floor. You can kind of see we're revamping that intersection there. So it's not like this anymore, but it's a little bit more bright and lively. And right here, this is the existing quadrant that I use on Fillmore going south and Northland. And this is the proposed render that I created. As you can see, that potential extra commercial space, the primary station, the platform now having to bump out to fit a new bridge adjacent to the old bridge. Here's some views from under the bridge now. As you can see, this is the historic bridge, and we're looking at this underpass where it's a lot more lit up and lively under this primary entrance into the building. Here's a view looking south on Fillmore, and as you can see, there's those potential storefronts. There's an egress cores for fire, and here's the station and the platform going above. This is a view if you were going to board the train inbound to downtown, looking across.
So this is our combined train map. So this focused on my site, the Central Terminal, and their site, the Broadway Hub. As you can see, my site is down here at the Central Terminal. Their site would be located here at Broadway. One problem that we ran into connecting both of our sites is change in elevation. So one way that we went about figuring that issue out is that we created sections that I might say 5,000 feet long, and determined that there was a rise of approximately 19 feet in elevation. And then we also realized that we would have to start an elevated course in order to cross over Broadway, and then as well as to complete a crossover at this location as well. And then also for my station specifically, we are on the ground level here and then we would be in the air for the station here.
So Jolanta and I were tasked with designing the Broadway Station. So it's located right here. And this is a picture of the overall site. We looked at site analysis to figure out where's the best place to put this kind of transit station. And we came across the idea of, as you can see, throughout the entire picture, there's a lot of empty lots in the area that could be great. It would greatly utilize the increase or bolster in economic viability through a transit center. And the idea was that we can also help bolster the local businesses as well by adding the extra attention to this neighborhood. Fortunately, we also came through the conclusion that the best place to put the transit station would be over another auto zone So we are moving another AutoZone. Yeah, so we will be regrettably moving the AutoZone to the corner of Broadway and Lathrop, and we are placing the proposed transit station adjacent to the rest of the tracks. Our original option was along this small corner, but we realized that there was too little space for platforms and such. So we decided to move it across over the AutoZone. We did a lot of site documentation as well to make sure that we went over the height clearance for the flyover. We did a lot of measurements on the bridge and the existing buildings on the site. We took a lot of elevations and heights in order to make sure flyover could exist. Yeah, so you can also see we looked at a lot of the businesses within the area which are highlighted, as well as religious centers. Yeah, like this is originally option A, which is tucked here.
So option A is the minimal viable station, which is down here. And we kept the same phases for our option A and option B. So first phase is phase 1, we are doing a station. For phase 2, we're introducing mixed use buildings. And then for phase 3, we're doing a business incubator. So for our option B, we are moving the AutoZone over to this corner and are pushing the station right into the bank. On the south side, we have the entrance into the blind station, which goes straight up, and then north side of the building, we are putting the station that goes off to the airport line to the right. And then in the middle, we have the family restaurant. And this is the station level.
Yeah, so on the existing site, as you can see, there's another angle of looking at the AutoZone in which we'll be moving it. The transit station would be here, and we're relocating the AutoZone, but we're also extending the parking lot for this area, as well as a lot of bioremediated spaces. Our intention is to interfere not at all with any of prior community-oriented businesses. Also, you're gonna see a lot of the elliptical canopy, which will be a large architectural language that we'll have for the airport line.
Hello again. So Central Terminal located here. This is an aerial photo coming from the west showing existing. This is the east showing existing. These are images, once again, site visits. I would have to say I probably did the most site visits out of anyone in this class due to the fact that I had the most existing structure to begin with, the historical Buffalo Central Terminal. Just to quickly mention that we plan on bringing the belt line through the underside of the building at ground level through these double wide doors. Once again, site measurements I had to do a lot of site measurements. Here is my first existing elevation of the south, just showing the fact that there is a opening into the central terminal that allowed for a bridge connection to the adjacent historical structure, which was, I might mention, was removed in order to allow double height CSX freight train to go underneath it, which didn't currently have the height advantage for that. When showing existing pergola that was on site, as well as the CSX rail lines to the pergola, as well as the now east elevation showing the structure in relation to the adjacent structure. Here's a section doing the same, showing like the interior spaces of the existing structure. This is a very great time to mention the fact that there is already a master plan in effect for the restoration of this historical building proposed by the CRTC. My plan is to fit in with this as much as possible and to interfere absolutely not at all. So this is a proposal. As you can see, there's many different ways that they want to use the outside space for community involvement. But the most important thing that I took from their proposal was their solution for bringing vehicles into the structure for parking, which they did underneath Petroski Drive, and then went underneath the raised plaza and then exited out the backside, which then I implemented inside my design as well. These are existing and proposed ground floor plans. So as you can see, you have the existing CSX running along the outside of the building between the two structures. Then I would be implementing the belt line to come through the bottom of the structure at ground level. Yes. And then also introducing a bus stop that will come into the central terminal in order to reach to that multimodal transit. This is now the second story existing, showing circulation, how you get to the building with sidewalks, as well as then going to the phase 2 of my design, which phase 1 is completely on ground floor, phase 2 is completely on second floor, which we would be then re-adding the bridge that would connect the two historical structures, then revitalizing the historical structure adjacent. This is just showing my proposed work on top of the existing drawings, showing the implementation of the platforming inside the central terminal at ground floor, as well as introducing the bridge at phase 2. Important thing to state is that there was 2 design proposals that I came up for the bridge. In terms of the actual transit and using of space, it stays the same. But one design is implementing the ramps inside of the central terminal and keeping the bridge completely straight, as where the second option would just be imposing the ramping inside the bridge so that you don't have to interfere with the existing historical structure as little as possible. Once again, just showing a section of this drawing, showing that you would now have parking implemented in the already designated parking garage, which is perfect, and then you would walk through the structure to the platforming. And then these are some aerial renderings just showing the implementation of the bridge in phase 2 and the implementation of the light transit underneath the structure in phase 1. Yet again, same thing, only from the east perspective.